I'm Victoria, and I am going to be doing a little review of the PreSonus Music Suite. Now, this product came to me about 2 years ago. I ordered it from Guitar Center, and unfortunately I didn't get to use it right away. And there's a couple reasons for that. First of all, I was inexperienced with musical recording. And second of all, I didn't have the right software to record my music on. So the software that the Music Suite came with was usable, definitely, but it was more advanced for me personally than I was ready for. I had never used a DAW, which is, now I know, a digital audio workstation, and so I didn't really know where to start. So it was a little intimidating for me at first, but I eventually got more experience and I purchased a Mac laptop, which allowed me to use GarageBand, which is a really simple, straightforward DAW that you can use. And I highly recommend it for beginners like me, those who have never used a DAW before and are looking to just start recording your own music or recording sound of any kind, really. So the first thing I want to talk about is the microphone itself. The microphone that it came with, it's this microphone right here. And so it's a pretty standard microphone, condenser microphone. And what I want to say about it is that it gets the job done. And that's pretty much my consensus on the entire PreSonus Audio Music Suite. It gets the job done. And the PreSonus Audio Music Suite is very good for people that are just starting out with recording music. So if you want to get your feet in the water and test out recording your own songs and seeing how it all works for you and just kind of easing yourself into recording your own music and getting your own material out there, it's a great place to start. And I have to give it that because it really, without it, I would not have started recording my own music. And I think that it really kind of allowed me to explore what it is to record my own music and how challenging it can be and how rewarding it can be as well. I am definitely happy that I purchased this a couple years ago, but that being said, there are some adjustments that I had to make to the equipment that I bought. So the Audio Music Suite came with this cord, this blue cord, and it worked okay at the beginning, but over time it must have started to fray within the plastic coating. So it doesn't feel very durable. It feels very light and flimsy. And so even just simply plugging it in and unplugging it and storing it and just using it, just general use, and not even heavy use, even just light use of this, unfortunately this wire no longer works. So that's something that I had to replace. So I got this wire. It's the same type of wire. It's from Sam Ash, and it's a lot more sturdy. You can tell even just by looking at it that comparing these two inputs, this one is a lot more durable and probably can withstand some heavy usage and will hopefully last me for quite a while because it was around $30. So I did invest a little money in getting a nice wire, and it's definitely worth it because without it, you wouldn't be able to record using your microphone. So another thing I wanted to say about the microphone is that oftentimes I would have trouble getting the sound to transmit through and actually record on the software that I was using. And there were a couple reasons for that. One of them being that I originally, when I first got my audio music suite, I didn't know what phantom power was. And so it took me a little bit of learning and researching and reading the manual to figure out that phantom power is something that you need to turn on in order to power the microphone. So it's this little button, it says 48V on the interface, and you need to turn that on in order for the microphone to work. And that was one of the issues I was having. Another thing is when singing into this microphone, you don't get a lot of sound initially when you listen back to your recording. So oftentimes you do have to up the gain, which I learned recently. I'm learning all about music production, and it's still new to me. I'm still not anywhere near being an expert at it, but I'm learning and I'm enjoying the learning process. But the gain is something that I learned that you have to turn up. And that might seem pretty self-explanatory or common sense to a lot of people that have more experience in doing something like this, but to me, that was something I had to learn, and it helped a lot. So that is something that did help the volume, but it will hit a peak, it will clip at certain points, so you do have to be careful the distance that you sing into the microphone from, and your volume as well. So the microphone itself is okay. Again, it gets the job done, but I wouldn't say that it's to a level that is acceptable for me personally. I didn't feel like I was getting the quality of sound that I wanted when I was recording with this microphone. So I luckily was able to obtain a different microphone that has better quality. I actually am now using this microphone called the Bluebird, and it's treating me very well, and I really do like this microphone a lot. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is the MIDI keyboard that it comes with. So this MIDI keyboard, again, I'm gonna say this, it gets the job done. It gave me quite a bit of frustration because sometimes when you play the notes, if you don't attack the note with your finger, like if you don't plunk it down pretty heavily, then the velocity of the note is very low. And that is something that you can adjust afterwards, but it can be a little frustrating when you're trying to play a piece that might be a little more intricate, or you're trying to get a certain sound out of the MIDI keyboard. And with this MIDI keyboard, I oftentimes was not able to get the sound that I wanted when I initially played the piece that I was recording. I would oftentimes, almost always, have to go in and adjust the velocity on each note or on all the notes, and that can be a little annoying. So I don't know if that's a problem that a lot of people have with MIDI keyboards in general, or if it's just this MIDI keyboard in particular, but overall it works and it's fine. But I would definitely like to invest in a better MIDI keyboard as soon as I have the funds to do so. Another thing about the MIDI keyboard is that it only has this one input that you can plug it into the Audiobox. It does have a sustain input, so that's good, and it has the on and off switch. So it doesn't have the XLR connector. So if you wanted to bring this out on stage with you and perform with it for any reason, you wouldn't be able to do so unless you had your computer and you were able to plug it in and then through your computer somehow connect it to the amplifier. So it doesn't have the XLR connector, which is unfortunate. So it does have some limitations to it. But overall, it's a decent MIDI keyboard and you can get the job done. So that's my little moral of the story with this whole music suite, I guess. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps out anybody that's looking to buy any sort of beginner starter pack for recording their music. If there's any questions, please feel free to comment down below and like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like it. If you want to check out my original music, click the link in the description below and it'll bring you to my music channel, which is Victoria Lee Atkin. So, again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely musical day, and I'll see you on the next video.